Yes, Judges.
Hello, Dan. How you doing? You
What are you
all
up to, bro?
I'm actually watching the football, mate. This Surfshark VPN is a lifesaver, mate. You can watch the football with a dodgy Wi-Fi, even at the Emirates when you've got a big crowd there and everything like that, watching the football. Unbelievable.
Easy to set up? Well, it must be if you've done it, mate.
Ah, very, very funny. Even abroad you can watch all your favourite programmes. It's like being at home, mate.
And that's exactly what you guys can do too. Click the link in the description for Surfshark VPN.
I do want to make a point about this Farmers League comment. That is the biggest load of bullshit that is walking in the face of football, because I'm not sure if it's an age thing. I'm not sure if it's recency stuff. I don't know. But I'll just go through a little list because I do come prepared to these now because I get Farmers Bloody League every single time I do it. But the Premier League started 1993, Man United won it. 1994, Man United won it. 1995, Blackburn won it. So United had a year off, but they were still, that went to the last day. If you remember, they drew at West Ham. Yeah. Blackburn got beat at Anfield. 1996, United won it. 1997, United won it. So there's 4 out the first 5. All Man United. No one mentioned Farmers League about them. 1998, Arsenal went into the Arsenal side. Then from 99 to 2001, United won it 3 on the bounce. That was their first of 3 on the bounce. So now we're at 3, 6, 7, 8. So out of the first 9, United won 7 of them. But it wasn't a Farmers League. Now we're at 2002, back to Arsenal. 2003, jumped into United. Now United had a year off then for 3 years. It went to Arsenal and then Chelsea twice. And then lo and behold, 7, 8 and 9 jumped right straight back to United again, and they had 3 on another treble on the bounce. Then we went to 210, then we went to 11, and that was United again. So in the first 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, United won 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 out of the first 20, United won.
Do you know what it is, Martin?
And by the way, none of them were close. There was a lot of them, they won by about 10 points and 15 points.
And you know what I'd say, Martin, as well? I agree with you. I don't believe in this Farmers League narrative. But I think there's a lot of simpletons. The reason why they're saying this is because you're about to do what's never been done.
You know what it is, Rob?
Copium. That's why I think they're saying it. I don't agree with it, but I think that's why they're saying it.
It's copium.
Yeah. You could say
I'm going to say it as it is. Dan knows I'll say it as it is. It's copium. And it's another stick to hit City with over the head.
The thing is, mine, what you've just done is you've just provided facts as to why it can't be a Farmers League now.
Because I'm not a kid. I was there back watching it, mate.
Yeah.
It made my childhood a living hell. Oh, by the way, United had won FA Cups, League Cups, and 2 Champions League in that time as well. So it wasn't just Premier Leagues they were winning. They were winning doubles and come on. They won a treble in that time. What are we doing here?
Yeah, mate,
do you think that the Premier League is at the best stage it's ever been at? Like, do you think this is as a whole league, this is the most competitive it's ever been, or do you think there's been other eras?
Right? I think in terms of competitiveness, Dan, I don't know if it's the best quality it's been. If I'm honest, I know, man, we just talked about how great Man City are and how Arsenal take this last day, but I think there was perhaps better quality over the years. Maybe people would disagree, but in terms of the competitiveness, absolutely. Like, when we went unbeaten, everyone says, oh, yeah, but it was easy to beat everyone back then. I disagree it was easy because that's why no one's done it again. But I can understand the argument because the playing level, the Wolves were not the Wolves are now. And the Portsmouth were of then and some of the other clubs, Middlesbroughs and all that, you could lose to nowadays because they're like the Brentfords away, which is always hard, or West Ham a lot better than they used to be. Do you know what I mean? So I think some of the quality is improved, but I don't think it's at that level. But I do think that over the last maybe decade, there was a lot of quality. And I think
there definitely wasn't a top 6 back then, was there? That's for sure.
Absolutely. But listen, the England squad sums up the level of quality drop, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying England have got a poor squad because it's one of the best it's been at, right? But let's just take the strikers, for example. You've got Harry Kane, you've got Ivan Toney, you've got Ollie Watkins, you can throw in Solanke, and then you kind of start to dry up, right? But look at the quality back then like Robbie Fowler and Ian Wright and Andy Cole couldn't get anywhere near it because of Shearer and Sheringham. Yeah, that wasn't even looking at the likes of Matt Letizia. It wasn't then go a few years later and then the Rooneys and Owens come in. And then, do you know what I'm saying? There was and then the Defoes and the Crouchies. You keep going. Like in England now, it's like you get 3 or 4 and then you dry up. And it's like, where's it all gone?
Even like, what's the West Ham striker as well? He was like on fire for a bit as well, and then got a really bad injury. He couldn't. Got in. That's it. Got in a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, Andy Johnson was putting up numbers as well, wasn't he? So
yeah, it's mad.
I always remember that cup final with Dean Ashton, the one with Liverpool.
Yeah.
No fact. Yeah.
When we played at Millennium Stadium. Yeah,
you know what, Dan? I think you're spot on. I think it's more competitive now, but in terms of quality, especially player quality, there's been a big drop off. Like even the term, we've had this debate many times. The term world class, it just gets thrown around easy. But when you actually compare it to 20 years ago, the golfing class is crazy.
Well, you know where the Farmers League falls down for me as well? Like I said, back then, United were winning the league by 10, 15 points some years. The leagues are being won. Yes, people are going about points total, but people are winning titles by 1 point, or they're losing titles by 1 point. So how is that not competitive?
Martin, not even just that. I know they're going to throw the love rivalry thing again, but it's alien to have 2 teams that surpass 90 points, and you're saying it's not competitive. It's crazy.
What Aston Villa doing fourth if it's not competitive? I don't understand this. There's, these people talk about this getting relegated. This is the first time in about 5 years that the 3 promoted clubs have gone down. Brentford never went down. Bournemouth never went down.
Forest as well.
Forest never went down. They got, they could go. This is not. People don't like this, but it's a fact. It's Manchester City hate that is cooking all this because people don't like hearing the truth. I understand that. I get it. But it's a madness. People's hate and bitterness are literally clouding their facts. They're clouding facts. Because this is not made up stuff. You can go back and check all this. It's not made up.
Do you know why you're spot on with coping that? Because I'm one of the rare Liverpool fans. I never mentioned 115. I know I just did there, for example, but I never mentioned 115. I never say, we didn't win anything because of this City team stopping us. No, it was our own wrongdoing. We drew so many games in the earlier part of the season in title races with you. If we did better, we win the league, especially the leagues we lost by a point. It's nothing to do with City. Yes, City are competitors, but I always look at my own club before I start using an excuse with other club. And I think, Dan, you'll say the same. If you beat Aston Villa, you go into the final day on top, you win the league. So I'm fed up of these lazy excuses. We can't beat City. They're cheaters. 115. No. Look at your own club. Look at your own club, what your club could have done. That's why when I have my fan base saying, but they're cheaters, they do this and that, this, that, and other, I'm like, no. What about that game we drew there? I remember there was a title race, our last title race with you, Martin. We drew 1-1 at Anfield to Spurs. They should have actually won the game, but we drew 1-1 at Anfield to Spurs. Fine margins. We win that game, we win the league. I remember the title race before that, we drew away at Everton United. All of our rivals that season, I think Harry Maguire at Leicester scored a goal against us at Anfield as well. We drew so many games. So you've got to look at your own club before you start to say, I think just to say City, it's just lazy and it's easy and you're just making excuses. You need to look at your own club. I hate this lazy narrative. It's just Pep because people say no one can stop Pep, but we've seen it once with I know it's our only one, but we've seen it once. We've done it. I'm not going to mention the Conte thing because you didn't have your team and it was his first season and it was his first year in England, and you saw what happened when he has his team. He's pretty much run 6 out of the next 7. But you can stop him. You just have to improve your own team. It's not impossible. Very tough, but it's not impossible.
What do you make of this comment? I'm going to bring Dan in a minute, but Martin, what do you make of this? Super chat from Enigma says, the problem is nobody hates City enough to put up a fight. Villa, Fulham, Wolves all roll over for them. The Premier League needs saving from 115 hostage. Go on, man. Go on. I'll be interested to know what you think of these sort of comments.
This is what makes me laugh. And people are doing the comments now. We don't care about City. They're irrelevant. But you can't keep our club's name out of your damn mouths. If you don't care about us, stop talking about us. Simple as it's a lot. This 115 BS, people don't understand it because the media have done a piss poor job to explain it. They've done a piss poor job, and I mean the mainstream media here, from Sky to Talk Shit, everything. They've not done a good enough job to explain it all. They really haven't, because I see so many fans telling me, well, Everton and Forest got done. Very separate case. Forest and, to put it in a criminal light here, Forest and Everton have been accused of shoplifting. City have been accused of 3 counts of first-degree murder. That's the level of difference here. We've not overspent on a few. This is what City have been accused of, is perjury and fraud. What the Premier League are saying is that Deloitte, KPMG, one of the world's biggest accountants out there and auditors, have all been part of this huge conspiracy theory. And here's a question. I bet no one in the chat, or anyone here, has probably read the 93-page cast document that came out. And I don't expect anybody to.
That's why I don't speak on it. I don't speak on things I don't know.
I have read it. And on page 78 of the cast case, it was proved by a majority vote that Etisalat, ADUG, which is Abu Dhabi United Group, and Etihad were not of third-party related sponsorships. Proved. And in that case, they would have had to get all these so-called emails and etc. would have all been shown. And you know what it is, Dan? It's copium. I've said it. It is just copium. And whether people like it or not, you're innocent until proven guilty in the UK. You're not guilty. I've never read that the laws changed so much to guilty until... I've never heard it so much in my life. But people now want to change law around and change everything else and put everything on its head. And all City have done is just said, the Premier League gone, we're accusing you of this. And City have gone, we haven't done it. Right, okay then. We will go through it all.
And what do you think? Like,
but because they've charged us with so much stuff, Dan, it takes this long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the way books work is they basically said to us, you've got 1 year of your, we think you've been a bit naughty on one of your years of your accounting. So what they've done is they've gone back and said, well, if you've been naughty on that year, you've been naughty on the previous 8 years. And they've gone all the way back. That's what it is. But people just don't, you know, there is one club who has actually failed FFP, but you never hear about it.
United.
And was proven. Man United.
Yeah.
See, let me answer this super chat. Big up, Enigma, and I appreciate the super chat, man. But let me come back at you here, right? So he's put, yes, it's hate. I hate City. They colonised the league by washing money, Martin waffling, and no one on the panel was pushing back, scared to be called a hater. It's not scared to be called a hater. I don't know enough about 115 to sit there and say that Manchester City deserve to be stripped of their trophies and put down into League Two to play Dagenham and Redbridge. That to me,
that is a huge accusation he's making there.
Go on.
Washing money, so he's basically saying money laundering, etc., etc. Now, I'm not going to go down that because I don't want to get your channel into trouble.
No, yeah, I get it.
This is what I mean. People need to be careful on language they're using here. They need to be very, very careful because it's very silly what people are doing. This will end up, and people can disagree with me all you want, is I've spoken to lawyers about this. Nobbins is a lawyer.
Big up Nobbins.
Nobbins is a lawyer. Stefan, who's done a lot of this, has talked about this, and he's a financial top guy. He's not some person on Twitter who pretends to be a lawyer. Some 12-year-old sat in their bedroom going, oh, I think I know law, because they've got their law degree out of a Kinder egg. Sorry. It's absolute garbage. You can't go making massive accusations about people without evidence. And the Premier League at the minute, we don't know. We will see at the end.
Yeah, we will.
Listen, I understand. I'm a City fan. I'm not liked. I'll get all this shit because I'm a City fan. I get it on every stream. We get it. We understand it. But everyone is going to hate what you can't beat. I understand that. Deal with it.
Have you noticed as well, Martin? Dan would be more qualified to speak on this than me. But there's a common denominator here. It's only really Liverpool, Arsenal, and United fans that really scream 115. It's not really Chelsea and Spurs, off my knowledge. Arsenal because they're now competing with you. Us because we competed with you. And United because they're your next door neighbours and your rivals. There's a common denominator in this. But you're right. If you just have to start hating what you can't achieve.
United are actually the worst for it, man.
By the way, Bacon Fang is spot on. It's the wording of the way people have got to put things. If you say allegedly, allegation-wise, you can't just go out and accuse someone. If I came on here and went, Dan, you've done this, and I've got no evidence, you can take me to a court if you wanted to do that. But people don't understand.
The thing is, mine. I don't speak for everyone, right? But the way I
start ICAS. I know your facts.
For me, I look at it and I think, if Manchester City have done wrong, and it's been proven that they've done wrong,
then we'll get punished. And
there should be a punishment. Exactly.
When have you heard me say that? If we get done, I won't say it. When have I said I'd defend him?
Yeah.
I'm defending my club right now on what we know, because right now we don't know.
Martin, do you know what it is as well, right? If you were to be proven guilty, I feel sorry for the likes of yourself, Daps, Nobbins, LB, because you lot haven't had anything to do with it. You just support the club. It's not that you've committed any of this. But the way modern football is, you're going to get the backlash because you support the club. It's like, Martin, I always get slapped for something my fan base said. No, ask me if I personally said it, but it's just the way football is.
Me, LB, Nobbins, Big Steve, we put our faces on these platforms. So, we are, because we're going to get it. We know that. We're not stupid. That's why it's easy to sit in chats or Twitter or whatever and click away and off you go. And then it's people, but we're the ones who are on the front line and we take it. And this is why some City fans would love Manchester City to come out and say a little something sometimes. But what's been happened is Khaldoon Al-Mubarak said we have irrefutable evidence that we are innocent. That's strong language to use, irrefutable evidence. We are completely innocent. We had Galasso, whatever his name was, one of our directors, was asked about the case, and he said, supremely confident. There are even rumours of the case has actually already been heard. Now, I don't know if that's true. Those are the rumours. It's all been heard. And the Premier League and City don't know how to all get out of this in a good way. Because the thing is, it's not about the Premier League. It's not about City to prove innocence. It's up to the Premier League to prove guilt. That's the difference here.